Look at your dog the next time someone walks toward your front door. Maybe it's the mail carrier. Maybe it's your neighbor. Maybe it's a friend you've known for years. Before you even react, your dog already has. Its ears lift. Its eyes lock onto the sound. Its body becomes still. And sometimes, it steps directly between you and the stranger. Most people smile and say, "He's just being protective." But that's only half the story. Because here's the strange part. Your dog often acts this way even when there's absolutely no danger at all. The visitor is friendly. The room is calm. You feel perfectly safe. Yet somehow, your dog behaves as if it has a job to do. Why? Is your dog simply confused? Does it think the world is far more dangerous than it really is? Or is it sensing something? You can't? Scientists have spent decades studying why dogs guard the people they love, and what they've discovered is far more fascinating than the old idea that dogs just want to protect their owners. Because in many cases, your dog isn't protecting you from danger. It's protecting something much deeper. Something that began thousands of years before your dog was ever born. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your dog's behavior the same way again. A promise written into their DNA, I imagine. Living thousands of years ago. No cities, no fences, no streetlights, only forests. Open fields and predators hiding in the darkness. Humans couldn't survive alone. Neither could wolves. Then something remarkable happened. A few wolves began staying close to human camps. At first, they came for scraps of food. But over many generations, something changed. The wolves that stayed close to humans lived longer. They raised healthier pups, and humans quickly realized something too. These animals heard danger before people did. They smelled strangers long before anyone could see them. They noticed tiny changes in the environment that human senses completely missed. Little by little, a partnership formed, not through training, not through commands, but through survival itself. Over thousands of years, those wolves slowly became dogs, yet one instinct never disappeared. Watch the group, protect the group, stay close to the group. Today, your family has become that group. To your dog. You aren't just its owner, you're its pack. And protecting the pack isn't a trick it learned. It's part of what evolution rewarded for thousands of years. But here's something even more surprising. If protection were only instinct, every dog would react the same way. They don't. Some dogs bark constantly. Others stay completely calm. Some quietly stand beside you. Others rush toward the door without hesitation. So what decides the difference? The answer isn't only in their DNA. It's hidden inside something far more personal, the relationship your dog has with you, and that's where the story becomes truly amazing. The next part will explain why dogs can read human emotions better than most people, how your heartbeat, breathing, and body language silently tell your dog when to become protective. The surprising science behind dogs sensing stress before you even realize you're anxious. Your dog is reading you, not the stranger. Here's something most people never realize. When someone walks toward you, your dog doesn't look at them first. It looks at you. That sounds impossible. But researchers studying canine behavior noticed something remarkable. Dogs constantly monitor the people they trust. Not every few minutes, not every few seconds, almost continuously. A tiny change in your breathing, the way your shoulders suddenly tighten, a nervous glance toward the door, even the way your voice changes by a fraction, signals that another person would completely miss. Your dog notices immediately. Think about the last time you were surprised by someone knocking unexpectedly. Maybe your heart sped up just a little. Maybe your muscles became tense without you realizing it. Your dog didn't need words. Your body had already spoken, and your dog was listening. That's why two people can walk through the same front door. Yet your dog reacts completely differently. One visitor receives a wagging tail. The other gets a silent stare. Not necessarily because one person is dangerous, but because your dog's first question isn't, "Who is this?" It's, "How does my human feel about this?" And that changes everything. The invisible alarm system scientists sometimes describe dogs as emotional mirrors, but that's only part of the truth. They're also emotional detectors. Long before humans developed modern technology, dogs evolved to notice tiny changes inside the members of their group: stress, fear, excitement, uncertainty. These emotions don't stay locked inside your mind. They change your posture, your scent, your breathing, even your body chemistry. Studies have shown that when humans become stressed, the chemicals released through sweat actually change. We usually can't notice them. Dogs can. Their noses contain hundreds of millions of scent receptors. For comparison, a human relies mostly on sight. A dog experiences the world through smell. Imagine walking into a room and instantly knowing who was nervous, who had been crying, who was excited, and who was afraid. That's close to the world your dog lives in every single day. So when you think your dog is guarding you, sometimes it isn't reacting to the visitor at all. It's reacting to your emotional state. And here's the beautiful part. Many dogs don't become protective because they're afraid. They become protective because they think you're afraid, whether you actually are or not. That's the incredible misunderstanding at the heart of a dog's loyalty. They don't wait for danger to arrive. They prepare for the possibility of it. Because throughout evolution, waiting too long meant losing someone you loved. But if your dog is always watching you this closely, there's one question that becomes impossible to ignore. Can your dog actually tell the difference between a real threat and someone who simply looks unusual? The answer surprised scientists, and it might explain why your dog trusts some strangers instantly, while refusing to go near others. How your dog decides who to trust. Imagine two strangers walking toward your house. Neither one has ever met your dog. Neither says a word. Yet before either person reaches your front door, your dog has already made a decision. How? It isn't reading minds, it's reading patterns. Dogs have spent thousands of years becoming experts at observing behavior, not because they understand human language, but because survival depended on noticing the smallest changes: a stiff posture, unnatural movements, direct eye contact that lasts too long, fast, unpredictable steps, or someone walking confidently toward you without first acknowledging your presence. To another person, these details may seem meaningless. To your dog, they are pieces of a puzzle. One signal alone means very little, but when several unusual signals appear together, your dog's brain begins asking a simple question: should I prepare to protect my family? Notice something important. Prepare, not attack. Most healthy, well-socialized dogs don't want conflict. They want to prevent it. That's why many dogs choose to stand between you and a stranger instead of immediately barking. It's a silent message that says, "I'm here. I see you. And you're not getting any closer until I understand what's happening." Sometimes, that quiet confidence is enough to stop a problem before it ever begins. The day loyalty becomes courage. Every year, stories appear from around the world. A family dog wakes its owner before a house fire spreads. Another refuses to leave an injured child lying alone. Some have even stood between their owners and dangerous animals despite having little chance of winning. When we hear these stories, we often call the dogs heroes, and they are. But here's the remarkable part. Your dog isn't calculating risk the way a human might. It isn't thinking, "If I do this, I could get hurt." Instead, its brain is following something much older. The safety of the group comes first. For wild animals living together, this instinct made survival possible. A pack that stayed together had a better chance of living another day. That ancient survival strategy still exists inside the dogs sleeping on our couches today. Of course, not every dog will face a dramatic life or death moment. Most never need to. Their version of protection is much quieter, following you from room to room. checking the front door after hearing a strange noise, sleeping where they can watch both you and the entrance, resting lightly instead of falling into a deep sleep. These aren't random habits. They're small expressions of an instinct that has existed for thousands of years, and perhaps the most touching part is this. Your dog doesn't expect thanks. It doesn't expect praise. It simply believes. This is what family does. But there's one final mystery. If your dog is always watching over you, who makes your dog feel safe? Chapri. Answer might explain why your dog chooses to sleep beside your bed, why it follows you through the house, and why your presence means far more to your dog than most people ever realize. The place your dog feels safest. Now let's turn the question around. We've spent this entire journey asking why your dog protects you, but have you ever wondered who protects your dog? The answer is surprisingly simple. You do. Think about where your dog chooses to sleep. It has an entire house to explore. Soft rugs, comfortable corners, its own bed, yet so many dogs choose the floor beside your bed, or the hallway outside your bedroom, or the spot where they can see both you and the front door. That isn't random. Researchers studying dog behavior have noticed that dogs sleep more peacefully when they know their trusted human is nearby. Just like a child sleeps better knowing a parent is in the next room. Your dog relaxes because your presence tells its brain something important. Everything is okay. That's why many dogs follow you from room to room, not because they're obsessed, not because they're needy, but because in their world. The safest place has never been a location. It's been you. Protection goes both ways. Here's the beautiful irony. Your dog spends its life trying to protect you, while you're quietly doing exactly the same thing for it. Every meal you prepare, every walk you take together, every visit to the veterinarian, every time you comfort your dog during a thunderstorm, you're telling it the same thing. You're safe with me. Over time, that feeling becomes stronger than instinct itself. Trust replaces fear. Love replaces uncertainty, and protection becomes something neither of you even thinks about anymore. It simply becomes part of your relationship. That's why dogs don't stop protecting the people they love, even when those people are perfectly safe. Because loyalty isn't switched on only during emergencies. It's there every ordinary day, every quiet evening, every peaceful walk, every night while you sleep. The real reason your dog stands beside you. Let's go back to the question we started with. Why does your dog protect you, even when you're completely safe? The honest answer is, because your dog isn't waiting to find out if danger is real. Its job was never to predict the future. Its job has always been much simpler. Stay close. Pay attention. Be ready if nothing happens. Wonderful if something does. It wants to be there first. That's the quiet promise dogs have been keeping for humans for thousands of years, not because we ask them to, not because they expect anything in return, but because somewhere deep inside that incredible mind, you became family, and family is worth protecting. So the next time your dog quietly sits between you and the front door, or walks beside you on a dark street, or lifts its head after hearing a strange sound in the middle of the night, don't assume it's being dramatic. It may simply be doing what generations before it have always done, watching over the one creature it trusts more than anyone else. You. Because to your dog, you are more than the person who fills the food bowl. You are home, and home is always worth protecting. Outro. If this video changed the way you see your dog's protective behavior, we'd love to hear your story. Has your dog ever stood between you and someone else, or warned you about something before you noticed it yourself? Share your experience in the comments below. We read every single one. And if you enjoy learning the hidden science and emotional world behind your dog's behavior, don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next video with another incredible truth about the companion who's been quietly understanding you all along.